Good morning, primary class. This is Miss Daniela with your lesson for Wednesday in our story, Jacob's New Name, and we'll practice our memory verse again. Behold, I am with you wherever you go. Genesis 28, verse 15. Behold, I am with you wherever you go. Genesis 28, verse 15. Now, leaving Bethel, Jacob hurried on toward his uncle Laban's home in Haran. One day, after walking for weeks, he stopped by a well where the shepherds were bringing their sheep to drink. Perhaps he thought how Eliezer had met his mother, Rebekah, at a well. We can read about what happened that afternoon in Genesis 29, verses 1 through 14. Then Jacob went on his journey and came into the land of the people of the east. And he looked, and behold, a well in the field, and lo, there were 3 flocks of sheep lying by it. For out of that well they watered their flocks, and a great stone was upon the well's mouth. And thither were all the flocks gathered around. And they rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the sheep, and put the stone again upon the well's mouth in its place. And Jacob said unto them, My brethren, whence be ye? And they said, Of Haran are we. And he said unto them, Know ye Laban the son of Nahor? And they said, We know him. And he said unto them, Is he well? And they said, He is well. And behold, Rachel his daughter comes to water the sheep. And he said, Lo, it is yet high day, neither yet it is it is yet high day, neither is it time that the cattle should be gathered together. Water ye the sheep, and go and feed them. And they said, We cannot until all the flocks be gathered together, until they roll the stone from the well's mouth, and then we water the sheep. And while he yet spake with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she kept them. And it came to pass, when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. And Jacob kissed Rachel, and lifted up his voice, and wept. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother, and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father. And it came to pass, when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob his sister's son, that he ran to meet them, and embraced him, and kissed him, and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all these things. And Laban said to him, Surely thou art my thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month. How happy and relieved Jacob was! Laban soon discovered that Jacob was a good worker and invited him to stay, and Jacob wanted to stay. He loved beautiful Rachel, Laban's younger daughter, and he wanted to marry her. Laban said Jacob could marry Rachel if he would work 7 years for him. That way he could prove that he could take care of a family. But Jacob had no idea how tricky, selfish, and mean Laban was. Finally, after 7 years, it was time to marry Rachel. But on the day of the wedding, Laban tricked Jacob into marrying Leah. When Jacob found out, what did he say to Laban? We'll read about that in verse 25 through 28. And behold, it came to pass in the morning, that behold, it was Leah. And he said unto Laban, What is this thou hast done to me? Did I not serve with thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me? And Laban said, It must not be done so in our country, to give the younger before the firstborn. Fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also. Give thee this also for the service which thou shalt serve me yet 7 other years. And Jacob did so, and fulfilled her week, and he gave him Rachel, his daughter, to wife also. In the end, how many years did Jacob have to work for Rachel, his wife? Can you add 7 and 7? Jacob's home soon became very unhappy. Leah was jealous of because Jacob loved her more. And Rachel was jealous of Leah because Leah had children and she didn't. God's plan to have one father and one mother in a home is best, isn't it? When God answered Rachel's prayer for a baby of her own, she and Jacob were very happy. They named their baby Joseph. Jacob wanted to go back to his home in Canaan, but when Laban begged him to stay longer, he worked another 6 years. Jacob had played a mean trick on his brother and father. Remember that? Do you think he thought about that more after Laban tricked him? Does God want us to be honest in all things, all the time? Yes, he does. Wrong choices can make a lot of unhappiness, can't they? They sure can.